Greetings to you all from Papua New Guinea. This is Father Christopher Etheridge, bringing you today's Gospel and Homily for Saturday, January 11th, 2025. Our Gospel for today comes from John 3:22-30. Jesus and his disciples went into the region of Judea, where he spent some time with them baptizing. John was also baptizing in Aenon near Salim, because there was an abundance of water there, and people came to be baptized, for John had not yet been imprisoned. Now a dispute arose between the disciples of John and a Jew about ceremonial washings. So they came to John and said to him, "Rabbi, the one who was with you across the Jordan, to whom you testified, here he is baptizing, and everyone is coming to him." John answered and said, "No one can receive anything except what has been given from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said that I am not the Christ, but that I was sent before him. The one who has the bride is the bridegroom, the best man, who stands and listens for him, rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. So this joy of mine has been made complete. He must increase, I must decrease." The Gospel of the Lord. On the eve of celebrating the Lord's baptism, it seems that our Gospel readings are out of place. Today we hear from John 3 that Jesus has already been baptized by John, and that now he himself is baptizing. All the while, John also continues to baptize. Now, to the untrained eye of John's disciples, these seem like competing baptisms. They perceive that Jesus' baptism is now a threat to their teachers. Although they wrongly perceive the situation, John sees and understands it rightly. And this is why his reaction to seeing the dawning of Jesus' public ministry is one of joy. Whereas John's disciples are envious, John himself is joyful. And in his joy, John teaches us our first gospel lesson today. John's lessons to us is this: joy is found in our vocation when we freely fulfill our roles. Jesus was not John's competition, but his completion. John's role was to prepare the way for Jesus, to prepare his coming. And now that Jesus has come, John is joyful. He has fulfilled his role as the best man. Fulfilling our roles and our vocations can also be a great joy for the Christian husband, father, wife, mother, priest, and religious. The key is found in freely fulfilling them. Going through the motions and living out our vocation is as boring as it is unfulfilling. Imagine if John the Baptist had approached his vocation in the same way. No one would have listened to him, no one would have taken him seriously, and no one would have cared that the Messiah had come. And today, John would not see his joy being fulfilled. Now, John is freely fulfilling his role also teaches us a second lesson about finding joy in our vocations, whatever they may be. Christ. Fulfilling our role is not the only nor the primary road to vocational and Christian happiness. The way to happiness is Christ himself. Here in Papua New Guinea, we have many different varieties of plants: sago palms, coconut trees, hibiscus plants, garden croton, ferns, and much more. Now, as different as these plants are, they also have something in common. Their leaves always begin to dry out in the same spot, the tips, the part of the leaf that is farthest from the trunk or stem, that is, the part of the plant that is farthest from the source of nourishment. The farther we live away from Christ in the Eucharist, the sooner our vocations and the joy that we should find in them will dry out too. Through his joy in seeing Christ near to him and at work for our redemption, John also teaches us where we find joy in our vocations, in being near to Christ in the Eucharist, and in sharing in his redeeming sacrifice, his redeeming work, through our small labors and our hassles, for the good of our spouses, children, families, parishioners, and ultimately the glory of God. May Our Lady, cause of our joy, help us to be more like John in how he lives out his vocation, so that we may ultimately draw closer to and become more like her Son and our Redeemer, Jesus Christ our Lord. May God bless you.
If you found this video fruitful, please feel free to share it with a friend or family member. Or if you would like to learn more about our missionary priests throughout the world and how to support them, please visit iveamerica.org. Thank you for watching, and God bless.